Hi there, Leo. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for August. And what an exciting month it promises to be. It begins on the 2nd with a new moon in your sign. A new moon is an opportunity for us to blend our drive with our more emotional responses in a really balanced way. But this new moon in your sign, which of course only happens once a year, is given further assurance because of the role of Saturn. Now, Saturn's actually been in quite a tricky part of your horoscope for over a year. The area to do with joys, personal expression, anything to do with children or creativity or your love life. And if it has felt that some of these areas have been under something of a cloud, I do feel that this month can be a time of revival. And this is because this new moon gives you a chance to shape any strands that are important to you or any new approaches in a very meaningful and purposeful way, a way which can gain traction and also stand the test of time. Further traction comes from the role of Mars, which switches back into Sagittarius on the 3rd and is going to be there for the rest of this month. This is really going to give you a huge boost of energy. You're going to feel much less reflective, more in the mood to go out and connect with people in the way that you do better than just about anyone else. And of course, Venus starts this month in your sign too, and this is the planet of glamour. Now, she does move on the 6th into the sign of Virgo, but this can be good for your money situation. Venus is not just about loving, it is also about attracting good things to us. And the more sensuous side of your nature, whether you love calorific goodies or it is getting up close and personal with someone, or you want to improve your financial lot, are all given a significant boost by Venus's arrival in this zone. But you may be thinking, but didn't Mercury move into this area just at the end of last month? And you're absolutely right. Now, Mercury then goes on to go into an opposition with Neptune. Neptune's the planet of dreams, but it is also the planet of unreality, and it's in the part of your horoscope to do with very close alliances and also around shared assets, finances, property, and so it is influenced in these areas as well as your business situation too. If you're a creative Leo, this can be an entirely positive thing, as long as you're being very realistic in terms of how you approach things. But with Mercury going into an opposition at the start of week 2, I do feel that you need to be very cautious about any conversations you have. The information you get back may not be particularly accurate, or it's your own thinking could be a bit fuzzy, a bit hazy around this key area. So your everyday finances is where Mercury is, are being compromised by some of your expectations or thoughts in relation to others or other issues which are more to do with the structural side of your finances. Now, Venus then goes on itself to also make this opposition with Neptune. This is more to do with your romantic situation. You may find yourself bewitched by someone who has quite a magnetic or mesmeric personality at the start of week 3, but are they for real, or is it just going to be some flirty fun? You may just be in the mood for precisely that, because the new moon in Leo is going to give you a huge shot of extra charisma, and when you're really on top form, few can compete for you for pulsating out a real sense of sunshine and a neat personality. So I think there's a great chance for you to really attract good things to you, that's for sure. If you have been sticking to some kind of diet, I do feel that that can come under a little bit of pressure this month. But there is another factor that's building up, which is highly significant. This is that Mars starts to step forwards in the sign of Sagittarius. And for mid-month, as Saturn goes forwards, the two connect from the 17th through to the 28th. When these two get together, it gives people a real ability to focus down on one issue in a very, very narrow way. And as long as we don't spread ourselves too thinly, then we can actually achieve an enormous amount. And I think for you, if you have got a talent which you're not really investing as much energy in as you would really like, this is your window of opportunity to really go for it. Now, on the other side of the heavens, Neptune is squaring up with Mars and also Saturn. It's going to be squaring up with Saturn through to the middle of October. A very draining link, if I'm honest. And if there is any confusion around your love life, particularly around intimacy or control or possession, I think these kind of issues are going to come to the fore as these two are side by side. Perhaps it's a point of no return around one relationship. And if you do need to be more enterprising in your approach in terms of increasing a sense of well-being or perhaps income in your situation, as Mercury goes alongside the lucky Jupiter in week 3 and at the end of week 2 and then into week 3, the two of them then connect with Venus. It can be a real opportunity to get some ka-ching into your world. A real breakthrough is possible, and you may feel a sense of bountifulness. This is going to be emphasized even more on the 23rd when the Sun also arrives into the sign of Virgo. And getting the foundations of your life really secure financially can be a big driver for you. But just before that, there is a full moon in your opposite sign of Aquarius on the 18th. I think this brings up this relationship issue again, particularly if you're in a tie where you feel stymied or throttled, you can't breathe because someone is not really giving you the opportunity to be true to your natural spirit. And I think because this full moon is combining with Uranus, if there is any restriction on your ability to be absolutely your own person, I think maybe there needs to be a bit of a clearing of the air. If you can do this, it can be a really enlightening moment and you can move forwards. Or for some Leos, especially if a relationship has really been bumping along the bottom, you may think seriously about whether it's time to move on. But if finance is being discussed, don't let Jupiter's optimism see you become too optimistic. You still need to stay grounded. That's absolutely essential as this month draws to a close, because then the Sun goes on to clash with Saturn, and it's important therefore that when it comes to your resources that you try to always imagine that if things are getting better, which is wonderful and certainly worthy of a celebration, but always think that you've got a little bit less to spare than perhaps is the reality, and that will keep you lovely and safe and within your overdraft limit too. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Leo. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.